Hey folks, Luke here with That's Us Gaming, and I'm back with another entry in my diary of an indecisive gamer. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. At the start of the week, I was scrolling through some free games on the App Store on my iPad, and came across a cutesy little puzzle game themed on the movie Friday the 13th. I like puzzle games, I like horror movies, and most importantly, I like things that are free, so I downloaded it post-haste. And I was not disappointed with this game either. There's plenty of content here, over 100 puzzles in the sort of story mode, and a lot of them are genuinely challenging. I don't mind admitting that there were a few times I was sat staring at the screen for what felt like ages trying to figure out a solution to one of these puzzles. Oh, and just a quick aside, the footage I'm using here will largely show me figuring out puzzles pretty quick. That's just because I'm being quite selective here. I like to plan my moves in my head before committing to a sequence of moves, so a lot of the gameplay I have recorded is nothing happening at all. I thought that might look a bit boring. Anyway, as I was saying, the puzzle construction here is quite commendable, as is the difficulty progression. There are 8 chapters in what I'm going to call the story mode, with each chapter featuring 13 levels, and each chapter also adding a new gameplay feature to contend with, such as police officers who can arrest you if you land in their field of view, or environmental dangers on the map like bear traps and electric fences that'll straight up kill you if you collide with them. And as all of these things carry over to the next chapter when they're introduced, so it all forms into a wonderfully scaled difficulty. Another thing I like about this game is the fact that up in the top corner you have the severed head of Jason's mother, who will offer you advice or a narrative sort of thing, and it's quite funny. But as I'm sure you can imagine, the game is not without its faults. It's a free game, so naturally it contains adverts, and admittedly they're not overused in the game. The pattern I noticed was that you get a forced advert before and after the last puzzle in a chapter, which isn't too bad, and you can choose to watch an advert in order to get a hint for this or the solution to the current puzzle. And the reason I emphasize the word choose is because when you press on Mrs. Voorhees in the top corner, you're asked if you wanted to watch an advert in order to receive a hint, and if you press no thanks, then, well, just watch this. Can't back out of it at all. What kind of crap is that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I know that it's a free game and they've got to make money somehow. Games don't grow on trees after all, but that's not my problem here. I just don't get why there's a button that doesn't work. Also, the game has crashed on me a few times. Nothing to do with the adverts, and probably nothing to do with bad design. It just happened a couple of times and it put a sour note on the game for me. Overall though, I enjoyed the game. I am kind of torn on whether or not to play any more. There are 4 additional chapters you can get for £3 each, or £10 for the 4, and the price just seems a bit steep for my liking. I also played a bit of Enter the Gungeon this week, although I didn't really achieve anything new, and I only really played it for about half an hour on Monday. I'm bringing it up now because I completely forgot to mention in last week's video that I had finally finished the little quest to get the lift to Chamber 2 fixed. So now I can skip Chamber 1 at my leisure. You can even get a free gun to make up for the lost loot from Chamber 1. I can't say I'm a fan of the shortcut though. A free gun is all well and good, but I don't really think it makes up for the loot you could have got by playing the level in the first place. So after all that hard work, I doubt I'll use the lift for level 2 that often. Dead by Daylight featured in my gaming this week again. I know, surprise surprise, but like Enter the Gungeon, it had a much smaller role this week. Played about 6 games to mixed results. My killer rank is still floating between 15 and 14. I have managed to get the clown up to level 15 on the blood web, so that I can now fully equip him with 4 perks when I play as him. There's a summer barbecue event on at the moment too. All that's really changed is some hooks have grills on them now, and if you put a survivor on a grill hook, you can earn a survivor chop. Earn 50 of them and you'll get an exclusive hammer for the hillbilly. I've got 4 at the moment, and seeing as the event is only on for about another week, I doubt I'll get around to unlocking it. But in all honesty, it doesn't bother me that much. And finally, we get to the reason that Dead by Daylight and Enter the Gungeon took such a backseat this week. I've been playing Tekken 7 again. What spurred on this little venture was the announcement last week of the 2nd season pass. I was rather pleased with the news, especially as it actually includes Tekken characters this time, and Negan from The Walking Dead for some reason. Now if you've watched Dave's rambling this week, then you'll already know this news, and if you haven't, then shame on you. Make sure you rectify that little mistake, after you've finished this video of course. Personally though, I take a different viewpoint to Dave on the whole guest character thing. I quite like seeing characters who don't normally appear in fighting games get a chance to duke it out with the greats. I'm always interested to see how they're represented in the games and how their character traits are translated into their movesets. But purely in regard to Tekken 7, I think Geese Howard was a good fit. He's come across from other fighting games, so that only seems to make sense. I will admit though that when they first announced Noctis from Final Fantasy was going to be playable, I was a bit skeptical. My immediate thought was he'd be better off in Soul Calibur, but they somehow made it work. And even though my first thoughts when I saw Negan as a guest character was that surely he would be better off in Mortal Kombat, I'm willing to give Bandai Namco the benefit of the doubt on this one. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on some new characters either way, whenever that is, I don't know yet. As far as gameplay goes this week though, I finally beat Akuma in that stupid bonus match in the story mode. It took me sodding ages to nail down the pattern for his attacks. It really shouldn't have taken me that long, but it did. I have a tendency to play fighting games overly aggressive and try to win the match as quick as possible, so this victory was also a little bit of a lesson in patience for me. And now I'm only 2 achievements short of 100% completion. 1 for winning a match in an online tournament, and 1 for getting all the other achievements. But my proudest moment this week was getting Brian Fury to the rank of Tekken God Prime, the highest rank achievable. To say I was chuffed would be an understatement. Now, this was only in the offline mode, and I can already hear you out there telling me that it doesn't really count, and I hear you, I hear you. A few days after getting this rank, I thought that it would be much more impressive if it was an online rank. So I've made the decision that from next week I'm going to start a crusade to reach the same rank online. I'm going to dedicate 1 night a week to playing online in pursuit of this goal. Additionally, I'm debating with myself whether or not to stream those nights live. So if that's something you'd like to see, then please let me know in the comments. I'm not sure on the specific night yet. It could just be a random night I have free at first. But in any case, I'll be posting a video with updates on my progression every week. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel to get the videos in your subscription feed. And also feel free to ring the little bell icon to receive a notification when the videos go up. And that's all I've got for you this week, so why not let me know what you've been playing this week by leaving a comment below. And don't forget you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook by searching for That's Us Gaming, and seeing as you're already here, why not have a look around our channel at other videos. Shameless self-promotion aside, I just wanted to say sincere, thanks for watching.